I'm pre-drilling, and this is the fun part. I've worked really hard for a month now. I'm exhausted. I'm preparing because we're about to soon epoxy these bottom panels down, and this will also get a small pre-drill with a small drill because some of the framing grain is horizontal and it's lousy rough sawn lumber, and I need to give it a little bit of help so it doesn't split out. But I want it to take and absorb the head, and I don't want to have to grind the heads off with a grinder because that's a mess. I should be done in a week. And as far as success goes, I tried a new way of developing shape with steel rods, trying to break the rules and make it easier for the amateur. It had its advantages and disadvantages, but still the development worked out. The boat will be a success to me if it floats good enough, can hold 2 people, has a good release when you're rowing it so it isn't dragging water. The design is for jumping off it, going swimming, leaning on this side here, having it dip down into the water so you can actually crawl back into your boat. These 2 sections that you actually walk on the deck are going to have cut foam that's about 2.5 inches thick, and it'll help support the 1/4 inch deck. The boat's a little bit heavy. I made a lot of steel accessories for it, but it'll be interesting looking. It's a very interesting boat with the design, so that's a victory for me. Eventually I'm going to make a little trailer for it that ropes on from our wheelbarrow axle that has 2 wheels, so we'll be able to roll it. But it's got a handle on each side, and the metal work weighs a little bit, but it's well worth it, so we don't hurt ourselves. There's nothing worse than trying to carry something that's semi-heavy that there's nowhere to hang on to. This boat was designed to fit in the back of the car. It's going to hang out about 1 meter, 3 feet or so. It won't fit in the car with the rowing arrangement. I wanted a wider bit of leverage for the rower. So I built these arms, and they just drop into these posts. These posts are fixed into the boat, glued in, bolted in, screwed in. The deck's going to help stiffen them too. They're really strong right now. But when you get the boat out of the car, you just drop in your rowing, your oar support, run some bolts through it, and bolt it in, and then you're ready to go. Now this boat here, I've taken and built it with epoxy. Now the epoxy was fantastic for scarfing. The performance was absolutely fantastic. But I use the same epoxy for putting on this fiberglass strip. And this was very difficult. The working time was not sufficient, very sloppy. It's really an eyesore. I'm letting it harden. I'm going to take and grind it a little bit, try to take out some of the awful spots, and just work with it. Then we're going to coat it with another coat of epoxy after I've sanded it smooth. And I've taken epoxied one side of the deck, which is the downside facing inside of the boat, because you won't have access to it. Once I fasten this to the boat, it'll be the last time we ever see it, and we won't be able to work on it. Since it's a sealed boat, it's going to have problems with sweating and drying out. I've put some holes in it to help it breathe. I made a drain plug for it here, so when you get it onto the beach, if it's full of water, it's got some places that can take and the water can run through back here. Take out the back plug and then drain the boat enough to take and get it off the beach and put it back in the car. So I'm a rookie, and this is a big time experiment. The finish is not very good. It's not going to be very good, but I'm doing the best I can with it. Most of all, I want the shape to perform. If the shape performs and it supports two people, it's hard to make a boat support enough weight when it has to fit in the back of the car.